Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Cabral Concept. Great to have you here. Always excited to be able to go through one of our Wellness and Weight Loss Wednesday shows. Today's topic goes well beyond just physical limitations, but I do want to share with you 3 telltale signs of burnout. So here's the thing. Many of us are dealing with chronic-based stress in our lives. But how do we know if it's actually gone too far? How do we know if it's truly set in and it's holding us back from living the life that we should and deserve to be living? That means, is it holding us back from the energy, zest, vitality, ambition, and drive that all of us deserve? And I mean that through life. So there isn't a point in life you say, oh, okay, yeah, of course, I'm 64 and a half years old. Well, obviously that means I need to start slowing down. I need to lose my energy. I need to lose my zest for life. I need to lose that ambition and lose that drive. That is not the case. That is aging showing itself, and as we say, rearing its ugly head. So we don't want that, right? We don't want that. You want to be able to live with energy and vitality and honestly a passion for life through your life. And we see some people who do that, right? We know that those people are out there. They love to get out there and they meet other people. They love to be active in their community. They love to start a second career. They love to serve on charitable boards or business-based boards because they get to use all of that wisdom that they have accumulated through life. But here's the other thing. There's many people that I've met in their late 20s and let's say 30s, 40s. They're supposed to be in their so-called prime. And I'm doing that in air quotes, meaning like somehow 50s and 60s and 70s are not prime either. But here's what we need to look at is that you have to keep pushing, right? You might have a family. You might have relationships that you're just starting to connect with another person. And you need that energy. You need that interest. You need that zest for life. And you might need to support your family as the primary caretaker or someone that is earning income for the family. But no matter what, you need energy. Like the whole thing to living a life that you love is having energy. I truly believe that because energy in body as well as mind and spirit enables you to say, oh, today wasn't such a great day, but tomorrow at least I have the energy to try again. And trying again is oftentimes what we need to do because so few of us, at least for me, we don't get it right on the first try. Be nice sometimes maybe to get it right or, nail it on that first try. I'm typically not that person, right? I go in with a plan, but what I'd rather do with my plan is to just try to execute, is just to understand that this is iteration number 1. I'm not going to beat myself up over not getting it right the very first time. Hey, I've never tried this before. Let me get out. Let me do that. But the only way I'm able to do that, which is radically different from the age of 17 years old to 27 years old, where all I did was relapse over and over and over with Addison's disease and a bunch of other inflammatory-based diseases like autoimmune diseases, type 2 diabetes, etc. And at that time in my life, not a whole lot of drive. I shouldn't say that. I had drive. My mind wanted to do things, but my actual spirit that I'm going to talk about today and my body, they weren't keeping up. So then my mind would actually start to falter as well because I would just be so exhausted. And so I wasn't able to get out and do that well. By 27 years old, finally found the healing answers that I needed that I, of course, try to teach today on the Cabral Concept and through our Integrative Health Practitioner program, as well as in the Rain Barrel Effect book. But what I try to do is after that point, that's when I opened my first training and nutrition location. Then I went back, my education, part 2, and then I opened my wellness center, and then I started the podcast, and then I did the virtual-based practice. So I was able to continue to level up just because I was able to get back my energy. And that's really what I was lacking. And again, energy just doesn't affect your body. So that's the big thing for today. I've talked about adrenal-based issues in the past. So the nice thing is this. Now on the podcast, if we go to stevencabral.com/podcast, what you can do is you can actually, there's a little scroll bar on the top, whether you be on desktop or whether you're on mobile as well. I'm going to see if I can find it right now. And it should be called something like stress and sleep and solution. No, that's not it. Stress and relaxation solutions. So these should be the majority of my adrenal-based shows. So what I'd love for you to be able to do is go back. You can check out those previous shows and really just see how they might be affecting your overall energy, your adrenals. And when I say adrenals, really in medical science, what we're referring to is something called the HPA axis. But, I don't always use that. And that's because I talk real talk with real people that want real results in the real world. So if I just throw around words like hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis, I'm going to lose a lot of people and they're not going to get the benefit that they deserve. So what we really mean is the hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis. And it simply means that how the brain tells the body to respond in terms of hormones. In this case, we're talking about stress hormones. And if you'd like a really in-depth view on this, you can certainly check out the HPA axis and how it begins to swell the body with toxic water weight on episode 1489. I really went in depth on how that works. And so hopefully you're able to check out that show as well. So, okay, what I want to do today, though, is switch gears. So often we talk about the fatigue, maybe the high blood pressure or low blood pressure, the lack of energy, the brain fog, etc. What I'd like to do today, though, is talk about how it affects the mind and how it affects the mood when you actually start to burn out, because it does. And so in my practice, I'm asking questions, and so are my health coaches, on physical symptoms, no doubt about it. And we look at that, and I'm sure I'll talk more about physical symptoms in the future. But there's a reason why I ask people about their overall emotions, that their overall mind, their overall mindset, their overall stress, and their ambition. I mean, I literally ask those questions. And over the years, because this is not taught in schools, this is what I found, is that it correlates very deeply with three main mind and spirit imbalances. So I want to take you through those today. And if you're suffering from any one of these, or you have a partner, spouse, friend, family member, coworker, I invite you to get them to listen to this show, because it might be at least that first catalyst of new knowledge that enables them to say, okay, let me listen to another show. Let me read The Rain Barrel Effect. Let me read another book. Let me listen to another practitioner show, whatever it might be. But what we need to do is move people forward. And they don't always jump from A to Z in one day, right? They might not say, okay, I believe, let me run a stress, mood, and metabolism test. Let me run a hair tissue mineral analysis, minerals and metals test. No, they might not be ready for that. And I get it. I totally understand that. They might say, well, it makes sense, but I don't know if I believe yet. I'm a little skeptical. Because so often we think, well, it has to be something wrong with our mind. Well, no. We know that your actual physiology, your body, your makeup, and today we're talking about the nervous system, right? So it's the nervous system that gets signals from inside of the body or outside of the body, meaning peripheral from the outside, or internal, being endogenous from viruses or candida overgrowth or SIBO or parasites or toxins that stress the body. That literally stresses the body, and we start to produce more stress hormones. And over time, we start to become in body depressed, meaning it depresses our energy. And it starts to then affect the mind. And I'm not going to talk about depression specifically today, but you can certainly add that. But we're not going to go into that topic specifically today. These are initial telltale signs that you are burning out. And the first one is this. It's low-level anxiety almost all the time, especially upon waking, and that it's hard to turn the mind off at night. So a lot of people confuse not being able to turn the mind off at night, that it's not anxiety, but it is. Remember, your mind is running because it's worried that you may forget this or that, or that you are trying to work through a specific problem. That is anxiety. It's a form of it. You might not have the nervousness or accelerated heart rate or whatever it might be, but you're worried. You're worried about something, and worry coincides with anxiety. And what I found is this, is that when the body does not believe that it's in a safe place, it tells the mind through the nervous system that. And what happens is, well, we start to burn out our neurotransmitters like serotonin and specifically GABA. GABA is one of those neurotransmitters that we overlook. And GABA is the natural anti-anxiety neurotransmitter. Remember, we have a neurotransmitter for all feelings and mood. Dopamine, pleasure, drive, ambition. Did a show on that, so you can check that out. We have serotonin as our happy, feel-good neurotransmitter. And we have GABA as our anti-aging, I shouldn't say anti-aging, our anti-anxiety-based neurotransmitter. We have norepinephrine for energy and pushing us into a little bit of that sympathetic nervous system. So there are many. But what I'd like to talk about today is, what if our body doesn't feel like it's in a safe place? Well, it gives us signals. And one of those signals is anxiety. Your body, when I say body, I mean your nervous system, right? So it's called the neuroendoimmune system. I'm a big advocate of people learning about this because the nervous system is how the body feels, okay? It picks up signals from the outside. Are you too hot or are you too cold, right? Or did you touch something hot? Or did you just experience pain? A lot of different ways for that nervous system to feel, and it feels from the inside as well. Feel bloated? Didn't eat the right foods? Too many histamines? Like whatever's going on? Okay, well, that's the nervous system. And then it affects what? It's called the endocrine system or hormones, because you start to produce more stress hormones. Norepinephrine, epinephrine, there they are again. Aldosterone, increasing blood pressure, sodium retention, and cortisol, the one that's the most famous, but really it's only one part, and that's bringing sugar into the bloodstream, whether you ask for it or not, as well as a host of other issues, such as slowing the thyroid, creating estrogen dominance, etc. But a feeling from that, not as physical symptom, but a feeling in the mind is anxiety. So I just invite you to stay open today and start to think more on a daily basis. How am I feeling? Am I feeling a little bit more anxious today? Remember, we all get anxiety. We all get anxiety. There's no doubt about it. When I have a big project coming up or I'm doing a seminar, whatever it might be, I start to feel it a little bit. I'm like, oh, well, there it is. There it is. I don't judge it. I don't try to push it away. I say, okay, it's letting me know. It's basically asking me, listen, I don't know if you're prepared yet for this seminar. Go back, look at those slides, make sure you feel comfortable. And then I do that. And when I do, okay, well, then the anxiety is now gone. I'm prepared. I've met it. I'm good. Until maybe, and a lot of people don't think this, until maybe like 10 minutes before I'm about to go on stage. Okay, now I feel it again. I feel a little bit of that anxiety. And it's not that I don't want to do it. It's just you're about to perform. And that's pretty normal. And again, but I just feel it and I breathe and I say, I'm excited to do this. I'm excited to get out there. And then within about 15, 20 seconds, I just go into my teaching-based mode and then it's gone, right? And that's not how it works all the time. But what I'm talking about is this. I had the low-level anxiety and sometimes high anxiety. Let's not kid ourselves when I was dealing with chronic health issues for a decade, right? So I didn't necessarily correlate the two, but that's what I want to share with you today. Low-level anxiety, sign of burnout. It's too much, right? So let's move on to this next one. Anxiety would be the first. The second is irritability. You're irritable, right? So anxiety is you're worried, but irritable is you're not really that fun to be around, right? You're just not. You're probably not even fun to be around with yourself. You're judging yourself. You're getting upset at yourself. You're getting in more accidents that you typically do. You're knocking over coffee. You're forgetting your keys. You're forgetting names. You're forgetting to do things. You're just overall more irritable. You find yourself stuck in traffic more often. Things are just not in a happy place. You're irritable. And here's why. That you have nothing left to really give. You're running on empty. You're running on fumes, yet you're keeping your foot on the gas. So the world continues to ask more of you, but you don't have anything left to give. That's going to make you irritable, right? Stop asking me for more. I can't really handle what I have, okay? It's going to make a lot of people irritable. And here's also why. When you are burning out, when you are overly stressed, believe it or not, you can be tired all day, but oftentimes you have difficulty sleeping at night. You might fall asleep okay. I didn't used to. It used to take me hours to fall asleep. And then I could stay asleep. But oftentimes, people fall asleep okay, But then they wake up at 1, 2 a.m., and then they're basically tossing and turning and restless for the rest of the night. Work with a lot of people like that, right? That's that mind turning back on as well. I mean, that's only one possible cause for that waking up during the middle of the night, but it's a big one. It really is, and that's why I want to mention that to you. So irritability is huge, all right? So are you suffering from anxiety on a daily basis? And are you irritable on a nearly daily basis? Now, maybe you're only irritable at work. Well, you might not have the right job, right? I mean, that's a big thing. It's something to look at. Or if it's situational with your irritability, it could just be the person, people, job, situation, right? But if you're irritable the majority of the day, your body's, you're having issues, right? There's nothing left to give, and that's causing this serious irritability. And poor sleep at night is only going to compound that. So then we have the third one. And I always see this as well. This is a big telltale sign of burnout, or you are burning out. And that is a feeling of overwhelm. A constant feeling of overwhelm. Not situational, like if I leave too much work till the end of day on Friday, well, that's overwhelmed, but that's situational. I did something I shouldn't have. I didn't keep up, okay? But overwhelm, like when you wake up in the morning to essentially when you're going to bed at night, you feel overwhelmed, big sign of burnout. Especially if you were able to do the same things you're currently doing now in the past, but you can't do them present day, well, there's a real sign right there. So this is how I look at it. Your body, your nervous system can barely keep up with your day-to-day requirements. And anything extra leads to overwhelm. Or even your current tasks. You simply don't have the energy. You don't have the output. You're not producing enough epinephrine. You're not producing enough cortisol because you are burning out. So here's the thing, though, and this is what I've seen, and I actually asked this. Even planning something fun like a night out with friends or your spouse, your partner, or a vacation seems like too much. You don't even want to think about it. I've met many people that are at the later stages of burnout where they don't even want to travel. They don't want to go somewhere fun. They don't want to go out to eat. They don't want to do anything extra because they're completely overwhelmed. So planning a trip or even trying to find a flight or look at hotels is just overwhelming. That is no way to live life. It is no way to live life because what happens is you miss out on experiences. And I don't know what else life is except that we get to accumulate experiences, hopefully more of those positive than negative, and along with a lot of the people that we care to share our life with. When you boil it down, like, okay, well, what's happiness? Well, it's like it's getting to grow. It's getting to experience new things. It's getting to meet new people and spend more time with the people that we do love and we do care for. And it's hopefully getting to do things that you love and you're passionate about along the way. So here's the thing, though. Overwhelm stops you from doing anything new, like anything extra. Okay, you want to go to a networking event? No, it's too much. You want to study for a new certification? Absolutely not. I can't do it. How am I doing it? I can't even do my work now. I can't take care of my kids. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't exercise. It's all I can't, right? Body's so overwhelmed. Mind is so overwhelmed. Remember, your psychology affects your physiology as well. So if you're not in a good mood, well, that depresses your body. And if your body is depressed in terms of energy, cortisol, norepinephrine, dopamine, etc., well, that depresses the mind. They work together. They're literally connected. So anybody says, oh, no, they don't know. They are connected multiple ways. They're connected through the vagus nerve, and they're also connected through the mind sending signals down our spinal cord or brain stem off of the periphery of that nervous system right there, which innervates the parasympathetic or sympathetic nerves, telling the muscles what to do, telling the organs what to do from an automatic standpoint as well as a manual standpoint. So they are intimately connected. And this is simply why I ask you to do this. Become more self-aware. It's like the greatest thing that I've been talking about lately is just simply self-awareness. If you start to realize, I am anxious, I am irritable, I am overwhelmed the majority of the time, you can begin to seek real help. And I'm not saying that, well, I am. I mean, there is something wrong with you. And I'm not saying that, though, from like a negative standpoint. But it's not going to get better on its own. Like, that's the thing. I never got better, even though I was trying. I was following the protocols. I was doing all sorts of different things. But I had to work on And it's why I call it the de-stress protocol. I had to work on all of those things at once. But the nice thing is this, you don't have to do anything crazy. You're going to work on the diet, the exercise, the stress reduction, the toxin removal, the rest, the emotional balance, the supplement protocols, and the success mindset. But oftentimes, your diet might be pretty good, so you don't need to do too much there. You might already be moving your body. Well, you don't need to do too much there. Or you have to work now on stress reduction, right? So what do we do there? Well, we might don't add 100 things in. Don't add hatha yoga, tai chi, qigong, float tank. Don't add everything at once. Choose one thing that you actually would enjoy. Oh, I would love to do 10 minutes of stretching before bed. I would love to do some mindfulness around eating, or mindfulness with some meditation 10 minutes in the morning and then 10 minutes at the end of the day to anchor my day. Don't overwhelm yourself with this. And then, of course, the other thing that you can do is just say, oh, well, I don't know if this is really me or not. Well, to know, you would simply run that stress, mood, and metabolism test, or also called the thyroid adrenal hormone. Or you'd run the minerals and metals test to actually look at electrolyte-based stress and look at those minerals. They're both great labs to run together. They give you a different picture. And again, you can decide to run those. All those labs are at equilibriumnutrition.com. But you can also work locally with a qualified functional medicine practitioner or an integrative health practitioner. They are people that, if qualified, can help you get on a real protocol. So you don't just, remember, you don't want just the supplements, okay? They are helpful in the beginning. You want that, but you want the actual lifestyle plan as well. You want the sleep-based protocols. You want the graduated exercise program, all of those things. We teach many of these things, of course, in IHP, but really what we're talking about is we are repairing the central nervous system. So we have to be careful with the amount of extra stress we put in that's constantly filling up that rain barrel. If we can begin to empty our rain barrel in all sorts of stress, whether it be GI, digestive stress, work, life, emotional stress, or it be viruses or heavy metals or toxicity, all of these things begin to empty that proverbial rain barrel and allow you to breathe, allow you to relax. When you relax, you begin to turn on that parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest, relax, and rejuvenate. This is the direct opposite of anxiety, irritability, and overwhelm. It begins to bring you more peace, more happiness, more joy in your life. As you get more of that in your life, you begin to increase energy naturally, increase zest, and increase vitality for life. Hopefully today's show was helpful. Happy to help in any way that I can. Feel free to comment over on Instagram. It's just my name, Stephen Cabral, or leave a follow-up question at cabralsupportgroup.com, which is our free private Facebook group. I hope you're well, and I will talk with you tomorrow, of course, on another Cabral concept. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.